The Thunder put the claims on Ant and Randall, absolutely suffocating them, but the Wolves bench played like never before, turning this game into a thriller ending. We got it all, so let's start from the beginning. Pumped up after a dominant win in Game 3, the Wolves were ready to take on the Thunder and protect their home court again. But OKC opened the game with a bang.
Gobert gets it, drives down the lane, shot blocked. Holmgren got a piece of it, and SGA comes the other way. Drives, kicks it out right side. Jalen Williams nails the first shot.
Ant and McDaniels didn't like that, so they hurried up to respond.
Off the turnover finds McDaniels. That was clutch from Minnesota in the first quarter of Game 1.
Jaden stuffs the two-handed jam over Holmgren, and we'll see more of them later in this video. Both teams started off by clicking on all cylinders. Everything was going in.
Jalen Williams, lot of room, and nails another three. That's his second three-pointer. Edwards back to Conley. Conley, wide open corner three. McDaniels in and out and in again.
But then Rudy decided it's payback time, turning defense into offense.
Holmgren inside, blocked by Gobert. What a rejection from Rudy Gobert. McDaniels down the lane, layup is good. Timeout OKC, McDaniels 10 early points.
The Frenchman's got some pride. At one point known as the Stifle Tower, he says, Mr. Holmgren, not right there.
It was McDaniels who led the Timberwolves at the start with 10 points in less than 7 minutes. Ant and Randall were quiet, only 4 points on 3 shots combined, and that ratio is only getting worse as we progress. On the other hand, OKC's 1-2 punch continued with their sizzling hot performance.
Williams drives left-handed. Oh, nice soft touch, underhanded off the glass.
Holy smokes.
Gilgeous-Alexander, nice spin move, jumper's good.
Well, that was their 5th turnover, and a couple more points off that.
Williams answers right back. Jalen Williams is 3 for 3 from long range. Shooting lights out to start. Gilgeous-Alexander steps back. Conley nails a 3. He's 5 of 6 from the field. He's got 11 points, 4 assists.
With 13 points apiece, SGA and J-Dub led their team to a 7-point lead after 1. And judging by the way the second quarter began, it felt like the thunderstorm was arriving.
Stolen by Williams. A telegraph pass, and Jalen Williams now with 15 points here in the first half. Holmgren, fake the 3, now drives inside the slam.
However, Williams and Alexander cooled off a lot in this period. They went on to make just 3 of 13 from the field. But luckily for them, Chet Holmgren took over the scoring load.
Little out of control, got it back, hangs on, flips it up, count it! Oh, Chet Holmgren falling down, throws it off the glass. Holmgren tries to answer, and does.
Meanwhile, OKC's defense was strictly focused on making Ant and Randall's life miserable. Look at how Dort is glued to Edwards under the basket far away from the ball. His only concern is to prevent him from getting the rock. Here we see Williams standing his ground on Randall, and once he finds Ant, there are 2 dogs around him, so he misses the shot.
Up top, Edwards, shot clock winding down, he's got to get it off, just doesn't time. Comes up short.
We all know Lou is an elite perimeter defender, but here he is stifling Julius in the paint as well.
Look at Dort, Randall, tough shot, won't go, Holmgren.
It was a defensive masterclass in the second quarter by the Thunder on Minnesota's top guns. The only points they were able to get were from the free throw line. Another full quarter of just 3 field goal attempts for both of them combined.
Into the hands of Edwards, now drives, gets in the paint. Pass inside, Randall blocked by Holmgren. Randall's second effort, no, they're gonna wave it off. A jump ball.
So in an ugly looking period with a lot more misses than makes, Oklahoma held an 8-point lead going into the break. And coming out of it, we have another strong start by the visitors for the biggest lead of the game.
Williams and Randall. Randall working hard defensively. Caruso, the three-pointer's good.
But what followed would get the entire arena jumping on their feet because
Conley gets into the paint. That right-handed shot short, tipped by Gobert. Gobert, no good. Second one is. As we send it to Lisa Salters. Edwards slices inside. Layup is good. There's the attack you're talking about, Richard.
There is nothing that you really can do to stop Anthony Edwards when he is determined.
Edwards again attacks, goes inside, kicks it out. Conley. And Conley makes them pay. Quick timeout from the Thunder. The lead cut to 4. Rudy Gobert off the dribble. Oh, he throws it down.
oh my goodness, Gobert with the poster jam on Hartenstein to cap off a 9-0 run by the Wolves and narrowed the gap to just 2 points. The Thunder would respond immediately with some tough buckets by Shea and J-Dub.
Gilgeous-Alexander comes right back off the glass. 23 points for SGA. Gilgeous-Alexander falling away. Rebound Wallace, another offensive board. Jalen Williams puts in a three. 18 for Williams.
This leads us to the most electric defensive sequence of the game.
Continues along, finds Edwards. Edwards on the drive, lost the handle. Caruso throws it ahead, 2-on-1. Wallace, Williams, back to Wallace, lefty layup, blocked by McDaniels. Tried to save it, but couldn't. Wow. Another sensational defensive play.
Holy smokes.
The defensive intensity was peaking on both sides of the floor, but Williams here managed to sneak one past Alexander Walker and bump the lead back to 9 points. But Minnesota comes right back with another electric run, this time fueled by their bench guys.
Big impact here in Game 4. DiVincenzo, plenty of time, hits a three! 1 point game. They only have 2 starters in double figures. DiVincenzo tries again, puts it in! Tie game!
Dante sets the net on fire with 2 straight bombs to tie the game and send the crowd into a frenzy. This was only the second tie of the game in which OKC were pretty much in control of. It was the Wolves bench that they were up against. Regardless, they had an answer for everything.
Wallace cuts to it, turn, shoots, jumper's good. Tough shot from Cason Wallace. Alexander on the drive, gets inside, kicks it out corner. Caruso, three-pointer, got it as the shot clock was expiring. Holmgren against Naz Reid, spins, goes inside. Chet Holmgren with the stuff, and it's back up to 7.
After a slow start of epic proportions and tried to get going in the second half by attacking the rim.
Edwards, DiVincenzo. Back to Edwards, inside, lays it up and in. High in the air. Edwards trying to find some room, double team, and a foul.
Edwards got him within 3, but at the end of the period, SGA said, "Everything you can do, I can do better."
Gilgeous-Alexander, hesitation, pulls up, bank shot is good. Beautiful move from SGA, 1.1 remaining.
Shea banks in the floater to get the lead back to 5 points. And at the start of the fourth, Nikhil on the other end will try to make his best impersonation of his cousin when...
Oh, Alexander Walker, more razzle-dazzle. Reed making a lot of hustle plays here in the second half. Alexander Walker puts it in. He's got 21.
As I said, Minnesota's bench was lit in this one. They outscored OKC's reserves 64-27. Matter of fact, they outscored their own starters too. That counted to 62 points. But the Thunder Big Three was always one step ahead of them.
Jalen Williams pulls up, jumper smooth. Jalen Williams to the rim, short. But Holmgren right there on the follow. It's Dort to go through. Pull up, jump shot, got it.
Look at Shea changing his mind mid-air to find Chet alone up top for the 3-ball.
Pass to Holmgren. Holmgren, good look for 3. It's good. Chet Holmgren from downtown.
And we got the similar action again, but this time it ends with a rim-rocking dunk.
Won't go. Cason Wallace, another offensive rebound. Holmgren right there on the follow.
Holmgren was huge with 21 points, 7 boards, and 3 blocks on 64% from the field. Another 9-point hole to climb for the Wolves, but they simply won't stop clawing back.
A contested 3. It's good. Anthony Edwards with a big bucket. DiVincenzo wide open, puts up a 3. Puts it in. Some DiVincenzo dynamite here in Game 4. It's a 3-point game. Kicks it out. McDaniels a 3. That's good. Minnesota with another answer.
It was a 3-point barrage by Minnesota in the final period. Except for Randall and Edwards, they shot the ball extremely well all night. But guess who else did that too?
Drives, pulls back, drives again. Stops, falls down, gets it to Williams, 3-pointer. It's good. Jalen Williams with a big bucket.
Jalen Williams had a solution for every Wolves attack in the clutch. We have Dante hitting his 5th 3-pointer of the night.
Drives inside, kicks it out. DiVincenzo another 3. Got it. Dante DiVincenzo lighting it up.
Then Jay goes one-on-one against him to punch right back.
DiVincenzo harassing Williams. Williams on the drive, pulls up, difficult shot, goes in.
Next is Alexander Walker with the second chance opportunity.
DiVincenzo back out McDaniels. Alexander Walker on the drive, goes inside, lays it up and in.
But J-Dub is relentless and already deep in his bag.
8 on a 24. Williams puts it in. Jalen Williams answers once again.
Williams with 14 of his 34 points when it mattered the most to keep the Thunder at distance. But Jaden McDaniels wasn't ready to give up just yet.
McDaniels drives, goes inside, lays it up and in. Edwards looks to push. Caruso in front. Edwards to McDaniels. McDaniels on the drive to spin the layup, blocked by Holmgren.
Great spin by Jaden, but Holmgren's just too long and he rejects his shot. I told you we'll see these two again. However, McDaniels redeems himself on the next trip down the court when
SGA turns it over, the double team knocks it away. Here comes Edwards. Edwards puts up a three. Dort couldn't get it. Alexander Walker, McDaniels three-pointer. Bang! 2-point game with 23.1 remaining.
wow, Jaden is determined to win this game whatsoever. 10 of his 22 points came in the last 4 minutes of the game, but now they have to foul. So they send SGA to the line, who stays calm and knocks down both free throws to keep it a 2-possession game. So after 4 trips to the foul line in which OKC kept a 3-point difference, we eventually got to this.
Edwards from the line, 4 of 5, just 15 points tonight. Knocks down the first. It's not easy to miss a free throw intentionally sometimes. You have to make sure you hit the rim. Edwards, bank shot no good. Rebound, Gilgeous-Alexander holds it, throws it down the court. Goes out of bounds with 1/10 of a second remaining. Right now the officials are going to get together and talk about it. There's still 1/10 of a second on the clock.
The fan caught it, Mike.
This courtside fan grabs the ball before time expires, forcing the refs to award Minnesota another possession at the end. Can they pull off a miracle?
Throws it inside, deflected from Williams, and that's it. It's over.
Nope, it would have been too good to be true. The Thunder hang on to win a tight Game 4 and take a commanding 3-1 lead heading back to Oklahoma. SGA with a playoff career high of 40 points along with 10 assists was instrumental in this game. On the contrary, the duo of Ant and Randall was non-existent, combining for only 21 points on 6 of 20 shooting. That's unacceptable, though we gotta give credit to OKC's defense for throwing multiple defenders, especially at Edwards, all night long. And Jalen Brunson had his fair share of issues in Game 3 as well, but his prayers were answered and Karl Towns emerged when needed the most to pull off a monster comeback and stun the Pacers at home. I broke down everything in this video, so check it out and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.